So, welcome to today's market analysis. If you look at this, so last week, this is our performance last week in the forex market. We had 39 trades, gross loss 213.7, gross profit 1,352.2, making it a net profit of 1,138.5 pips. So, if you're taking this with a lot size of one, that is $13,000 in profit for just last week. But we didn't just do this in Forex, we also did it in crypto. And I will show you that real soon. But first, I want to know where you are attending our live from. Just tell me the city and the country. So, for example, I am in Port Harcourt. No, I'm not in Port Harcourt, I'm in Lagos actually. Just type the city and the country in the chat so I can see. City and country in the charts. Now, I'm going to share with you what we did last week on in crypto. So this is the performance we got in the crypto channel. This is the performance. 14 signals dropped. We had only 3 losses, and this is the percentage win, a 31.1%. If you're risking $100, it's 3,000 for that week. $200, 6,344 for that week. And this is about our best results yet in the signal channel. So if you're not in our signal channel, just use the link in the description of this video and get into that channel. It's that straightforward. That said, we're going to go straight to analyzing today's markets. I want to show you how this is done, how we go about getting these amazing results. So we're going to analyze both the forex market and the crypto market, and we're going to we'll start with the forex market. We'll start with Euro USD, then we'll go ahead and do GBP USD USD JPY, then GBP JPY, then we'll do BTC, Ethereum, and XRP. Okay, so but first I want to start with the economic calendar. Let's see, is there anything that we should be wary about today? Today being Monday, if you look at FX Street, I look at two different sites, FX Street and FX Factory. So today being Monday, there's no high impact news, so we're pretty good. We're going to trade daily on market analysis. Even on FX Factory, we cannot see anything there. Now, that said, I want to open another tab. Okay. I want to start the analysis by analyzing by looking at not this one. Okay, just a quick recap of what we did on Friday. This was my trade on Friday. I took multiple trades here. This is my first entry. This was the final take profit, but I got out around this was my final take profit. This was my first. It's over a 3 hour. And when the market was doing this and it was coming to the end of the day, I think I exited the last one here. But I also took this trade that came down here, this particular one that had a retracement here. And this was like about a 5x to this point. But it was a pretty good trading day for me that day. But anyways, this is what I want to look at, the dollar index. That is where we're going to start with. Okay, I'm going to start from the weekly time frame to understand where the dollar is going to. Now, if you look at this, whew, now if you look at this on the weekly, we had a retracement into this zone. We've tapped into this demand zone like twice, and it seems as if we are pulling away. Now, underneath it, we still have some zones. Let me repeat myself. So we have tapped into this zone. So ideally, we should be heading up to attack this high again. So the dollar should basically go up, and every other asset under the dollar should come down. Now, if we look below this, let's see, can we find any other this particular demand zone? This is a possibility that it's going to come down. Okay, we still have a demand zone below here, which means that it could still come down. And underneath it, this is another demand zone here. Now, for this one here, I don't want to worry about this one here because it's still far out. The market could still reach this particular demand zone, but it's not something we should really be concerned about for now. Okay, so what I'm saying is that this market should go up, right? But um, because we still have this demand zone here, it will still come down. Now, the only time we can say we have a confirmation that it's going to go up is you see this particular high. When this high is broken, then we can now keep going up. We can go, it's confirmed that we can go up if this high is broken, maybe to this particular point, to this point at least. But for now, this can actually retrace from where it is and we keep on going on the downward trajectory for the dollar index. But this is on the weekly. So what is our zone? What zone are we targeting for this week? I'm just going to dial in here and we're going to look at, we'll have a gap here. So looking at this particular low, can we take out this low here? So I'm going to mark it with this. Then the next one is this high here. Can we take it out? So with that, we're going to go to the daily time frame to see what could happen. So on the daily, On the daily, this particular demand zone we have here, you can see we have broken through it here, but it is still with a sweep, which means that if you look below, where can we find the demand zone here? On the daily, we have a demand zone here. Okay. We have another demand zone here. So these are possible places the market could break through. So the market can have a breakdown to this particular point, go higher. I can have a breakdown to this particular point to go higher. Okay, possible scenarios. With that, we'll go straight to the 4-hour time frame. What can we do on the 4 hours? Four hours start to make things clearer. So if you look at the 4 hours, um, this is a possible demand zone we can target. This one. We can target this one. Okay. Now, if you look here, even though here, we this is not really a break of structure, but we'll have an internal break of structure here. Okay. So which means that we could retrace to this point because this is a zone that broke the structure and we can move higher. So which means that we could do this and move higher to take out this zone here. But that is the zone I feel that we're going to take out. And if you look here, we actually have a break of structure here. This one now is to the downside. This one now is to the downside. And you might not see this until I move to a lower time frame further. So to the 1 hour now. To 1 hour, we have this break below here. And this is not yet a break, this is a sweep yet. Okay. And we have this gap above here. This gap brought us into the week, this particular gap here. So it won't be out of place. Let me draw this. So this is a possible retracement for the dollar index. Okay, so what can we deduce from here? We'll have a large fair value gap here. We'll have a draw that the market could draw to this particular point. Market could, where are you? The market could draw to this point, and from here we can move higher. Okay, um, this could happen, or we could see either of this. So one, we get here. If we see a confirmation entry, then I'll be happy to take it down. But if it breaks through, but if this now breaks through, then I'll be looking to look for entries to go higher to this particular point. I think we need to go further on the dollar index. We need to go further on the dollar index because it looks really, this looks like what is going to happen. You can see this market go down further. So if it's going down, what should we expect? We should expect Euro USD to keep on going high. So let's do the same analysis for Euro USD on this, starting from the weekly time frame. I'm going to close up all this because this has been all taken out. And this was a very good trade that we had on Friday. Okay, so starting from the weekly time frame for the Euro USD, we are basically doing the same thing. So this analysis for the longest time, I'm waiting to see um, the market to come down to this zone and probably will shoot up from here to target this fair leg up we had here for a very long time. Okay, it's my weekly range. I had it for a long time. I'm just going to go ahead and close all these things. I'll withdraw them if I see them as important to draw. Um, let's just see clearly what this is doing. Okay, so from the weekly, this is the bottom here, and this is the high. I can actually shift my high to this point. Okay, we cannot see the market moving that high this particular week. Even to this point, is still fine. Anyway, that takes us to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame for Euro USD, um, this is a gap we've been wanting to fill. Now, if you look at this from the daily, this up to this point, you can see that we have not totally filled this gap. So I'll expect this market to make another push downwards into this gap and maybe do a get a confirmation to now go higher. So I'm expecting an extra push downwards from this market. So this is on the daily time frame, right? Now we can now go to the 4 hours to see if you can see trades. So again, I'm going to take this back to where it was on the 4 hours time frame. This is where they will have the demand. Okay. So in other words, what I said, I'm looking forward to see this coming down, then giving us a confirmation to go and attack this zone. Hope this makes sense. But all we're seeing here now is on the 4 hours is this particular zone. So this zone is a supply zone here. All right, supply zone what have you. And if you check this supply zone led to this break of structure here, but you can see that this one is also a break of structure from this particular point. So when the market has a break of structure, so we had a break of structure there. So what is on my head right now is to see this move to this point, then come down, maybe give us a confirmation. Okay, then we can now go up. That's what I'm saying. So if you have break of structure, you want a retracement and a movement downward. Now, if you check above here, you will see that there is another supply zone here, which means that there's a possibility that this fails. This particular one has can fail. This can fail, but I don't see this failing actually because there's a lot of price action in this region. So I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with this particular movement. Why am I sticking with that? Because one, we have a break of structure here. Okay, and we have a fair value gap here, an imbalance here. Okay, and we have a demand zone here. Let me move this to the side a little. And if you look at this, looking at this, so we have this particular breakout structure this way. I'm still on the 4 hours. It's a breakout structure. And this is the demand zone that led to the breakout structure, this particular demand zone. That demand zone was tapped into. Okay. So this market is going up from here now. Now let's go to the 1 hour and see if there are trades we can take. The 1 hour, the logic is still the same. There is no new information I'm having. But the way it is set up right now, I'm interested in seeing this market go higher from here. So it's to look for price action to trade this higher into this particular zone. When it gets here, we want to look for confirmation to trade it lower. All right. Now, so we can then go to the 30 minutes to see. This way I like to bring out my moving averages. But I think we need this particular moving average. All right. Okay. So 15 minutes, we can still go down to the 15 minutes time frame. Now, what am I looking for in the 15 minutes? I'm looking for how to take this trade higher. Okay. So now looking for demand zones to take this trade higher. Now, so what I would like to see is to have this structure broken here. I like to see this broken properly. So this market should shoot up. To see this market shoot up this way, then we can now come down to this retracement to take it higher. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So what do we have here? We have a demand zone here. I believe you know how I draw my demand zone. If I have a breakout structure, then I can now draw the demand zone. We have another tiny one here. I don't think this one is going to be taken, this particular one. So I can actually close this one out. All right. So what is my trade? This will be my risk entry. Long position from here this way, and I can go higher. My first take profit will be here 3.45. Second take profit can be here 6. Ultimately, this is my final take profit. Now, you have to be to take this entry. There are two things that are involved. You don't just take it blindly. One is that if I we have not broken structure here. If you break structure here, like if we go above and do this, then it is now more there. You have more probability of seeing this happen. You have more probability to see this happen. That is one. Secondly, you might want to go to the 5 minutes and wait for a confirmation to happen here. Okay, before you take this particular trade to go high. You might want to wait for confirmation. But another reason why, if you have this, another thing you could do to take this very risk entry is if you have this go above here and retraces, at the same time we are having this moving average enter this particular zone, okay, then it becomes a more higher probability to see this movement. So this is what I've been waiting for. So what I'm going to do now is just to place an alert here. at this point um, to see what happens. Now, if this trade from where it is starts coming down and hit this zone, I'm not going to take it. Okay, I'll wait for it to push up again. Then I'll now take the second one that comes down because it hasn't broken structure, so it has not given us any assurance that it's going to go higher. You must wait for it to break structure above because if it didn't break structure and start coming down, it might not just respect this particular zone. It might just come down further, even to this particular zone, before deciding to say it's going high. So that is for USD EU. We are going to go straight to GJ. This is a trade I wanted to take. Oh, this is a very beautiful trade, rather. You see what I mean? We had the demand zone. This was like on the 5 minutes. This came down. This was supporting it, and we had a very beautiful rally. Actually, took this particular trade. Okay, that's it. We want to start the same way from the weekly time frame on GJ and analyze all the way down. All right, GU rather not GJ. Okay, so what do we have? Um, we still have on the weekly our fair value gap here and break again. I have a fair value gap at this point. Then we have here, we have this also our demand zone above. Okay, we shouldn't be bothered with this anyway. Just know that this is giving us some insights into the fact that we can see this go high. Okay, then we had a break of structure here. We're looking forward to retracement down this way, which we didn't get. I'm going to go ahead and close all these things. We'll draw them if they are relevant. Okay. Now, so I'm going to still leave this as the high for the week, target for the week. Or maybe here is still the bottom. This more like this is not. I want to call this a weekly range, but it's not a weekly range. It's too much to be a weekly range. All right, so we're going to go to the daily time frame now to start seeing the possibilities. So it's on a daily. We set a demand zone here, okay, which I believe we should still tap into this demand zone. So the same way, um, this we have a breakout structure here, so we should go higher. But I still think that we can go come lower to this zone before going to kind of attack this particular zone. So that makes sense to me. All right. Now, um, here you will see this as, in fact, from the whole of this here, we can see that we have a break of structure down that way. So, which means that can be having this, because this is a zone that actually did the break of structure. We can have this zone here as the zone that we can potentially tap into, okay, to now tap into here to now go higher. This is a movement I'm also looking forward to seeing on um, GU. So that's it. We go straight to 4 hours. What can we get on the 4 hours? On the 4 hours, on the 4 hours, I have this breaker structure here. All right. And this here, if you look all the way down, there's not even there's no demand zone at all. So this here, let's see if it's valid. Yeah, it's valid. So this is the demand zone that led to that breaker structure. So I would like to see this one and go and upward this way. It is making sense. So it retraces me downward to this zone to see it go higher. So 1 hour time frame now. So here we can refine. Looking at this particular price action we have here, there's simply no look apart from this tiny one we have here. Let me see. Okay, it's even efficient, so there's no demand zone below here. The only demand zone we're having is this particular one where we drew this, which I can refine further. You can refine further to I don't think to refine it further actually. Um, the refinement you can see is this. It's a very tiny refinement. Okay. So I'm just going to leave it at this. Okay. This is a 4 hour demand zone. I'm going to call that 4 hour demand zone here. And probably wait for a confirmation entry here to go higher from this zone. So that is that on the 4 hours. Let's go to the 15 minutes and see if we can have it better on the 15 minutes. But let's start with the 30 minutes rather. 30 minutes. Is there any change in the 30 minutes? There's really nothing new on the 30 minutes. 15 minutes now. Okay, what can we get on the 15 minutes? Okay, so there's really nothing supporting this on the 15 minutes. No demand zone met apart from this one we have here. Apart from this demand zone we have here. So I'm just gonna see what happens when this gets here. The clarity I'm having is the EU. So for the GU, I'm just gonna, you know, leave it be basically. So that said, we enter GUJ. UJ gave me profits. Very nice profit last week on Friday. Let's see if we can get some good profit from it this Monday as well. Okay, I think it's fine to close out this. It's a liquidity has been lingering here for a long time. I'm still gonna draw it out, and this is still a demand zone that we've had for a long time. And close the whole of this out. All right, so let's start from the weekly again. Weekly time frame. Take this out. So on the weekly time frame, there's really nothing much to look at here. So I'm just going to go straight to the daily time frame. Okay. So on the daily, we had this break we've had since. I have been expecting a retracement to this zone, which we have not, which hasn't come. So this particular zone we have here, I've been expecting a retracement to this, but we didn't see it. But right now, we're having um, we seems to be attacking this particular high here. So if we break this high, if we break this particular high here, then this is the zone I'll be looking at to now go for this high. Hope that makes sense. Um, so I'm gonna go straight to the 4 hours rather. There's still really nothing much to look at here. I'm just gonna close this because it seems distracting. Okay, so 4 hours zone. Again, I'm looking for the break of this. Once we see a break of this, then this is where I'm looking to see a retracement to go higher from here. Because a retracement, a break of this above shows that we're having a break of structure and the probability to now go higher. But it's on a higher time frame, so we'll not see it happen. We might see it happen this week actually. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 1 hour straight up. Um, Down here, they are all efficient movement down here. So I'm not waiting to see us go lower from here. If we go lower from here, it means that this is the zone we're going to get to. But the way it is, it looks pretty good to keep on going high. We've entered this efficient range, which means that we're likely to go and attack this particular range. So the question is, how do we now go higher? So if you look at here, this is an internal breaker structure here at this point. Um, Internal breaker structure. Then if we check here, just below it, we have a demand zone. Which suggests one thing. The suggestion is that it's still this. It's still this movement that was suggested. Okay, but if we are seeing, um, let me see, if we're expecting an upward movement of the EU, this should actually go down. But anyways, let's just follow what the market is saying. So this expected movement, but this is an internal break of structure. What I would have loved to see is to see this high taken, and it becomes better to see this happen here as well. Anyways, we're going to keep going. We go lower to 30 minutes now. I'm just going to turn this off because it's not showing any form of clarity. We also have a demand we've had here for a very long time. So I'm going to mark it out. Okay, I'm going to mark this out. This tells me that there is a potential to see this here. And if I see a confirmation entry from this point, that will make me go lower. I think this is what we're going with. Again, if we see um, a tap into this particular zone and I see a confirmation entry here, then I can go lower um, from that particular point. This is my trade for GJ. So I'm just going to mark out for UJ rather. I'm going to mark out this zone to be my alert. So once we have a break into that particular zone, I can come back here to start looking for the break. But on the smaller time frame now, um, there are trades on the 5 minutes time frame we can take here, but I don't want to go down to the 5 minutes time frame, so it doesn't get uh, too cumbersome for those who want to take this particular trade. So this is it for UJ. For I also trade GJ. I didn't get a trade last week trying to take this. I was expecting a retracement here, but all this did not happen. And we are currently at this particular point. So I'm just going to turn the moving averages off so it doesn't get confusing. And I'm going to reanalyze the whole of this. Starting from the weekly time frame. This is the last Forex pair that I am analyzing. All right. It's also clear we are trying to attack this particular zone. Okay, we're trying to take out this particular high. And if I go down to the daily, um, we had a retracement to close this zone, but we didn't quite close the whole of it. We still have some gap here. Okay, but this seems very strong, going very strong, heading forward. But there's a possibility that we see a reaction from this particular supply zone that we see here. So I'm interested in seeing what happens in this particular supply zone. Since we are breaking through this, we might have something to go lower from here. We might not, but I'm just interested to see what happens there. Then on the 4 hours, what can you see on the 4 hours? So looking at it, you can see that we are almost getting out of this. Okay, so um, so it simply means that this is the zone we might be heading to. All right. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. All these are efficient here. We are currently in the last line of defense here. So if we have a break of this zone, let's say we break into this efficient zone, there's possibility we do this. There is every possibility that we have that movement onward. So what am I looking forward to now? Okay, what I'm looking forward to here is we're actually inside this zone, even though we have not taken out the this is the high. We have not taken it out. When we take it out, we're likely to move here. So I'm just going to go down to the 30 minutes and even the 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go down to 15 minutes. To check this out. So on the 15 minutes, I think we're going to move higher. This is what I see. If I'm to take this trade, I'm looking at this zone. Okay. So this is a trade If we break above here, this is a trade I'll be willing to actually take on this particular trading pair. So long position from here, and we can now target. We can be looking forward to taking out all this high we see here. It's a high, it's another high. We can look forward to take out this high, even up to this particular high we're seeing here. So this will be a trade I'll be looking forward to take once we have a break of this particular um, high here. Ultimately, I'll also be looking forward to confirmation entries to go down. So what do I mean? If we start having this, if we're not having a break downwards, then I'm happy to go down, even without reaching this particular point. If I start seeing this particular breakdown, if I start seeing this particular breakdown this way, you see break of structure, then it's time to take the opposite end and bring this particular trade down. So this is it for the Forex pairs. We have analyzed the EU possible movements. Like I said again, we did not break above here, so this trade will not be valid. Okay, if you break above it, that's when I say this one as being valid. If you not break above this, I want to see where it gets to and move up again to break it before taking this particular trade. That's like I saw on EU. For GU, I didn't have clarity, so I'm just leaving it the way it is. For UJ, I'm waiting to see a confirmation here to go lower. For GJ, I'm also looking at this and an extra confirmation here to go lower. Hope this is clear. With that, we'll just move straight to Bitcoin. Bitcoin gave me two very profitable trades last week. One was this. One was this. It's a short position. It took this trade. See how long it took. Let me get this to. This trade took. So entered, and this is the exit. So this trade took um, almost 2 days to play out. Okay, and the second one just was in that same day. Second was that in that same day. They were very good two great trades. There are two great trades. This one uh, and this particular one. Okay, this one is a 5.46. This one is a 6.58. This is one I wanted to enter again, but I didn't see retracement to that to it here, so this trade wasn't taken. So I'm going to close out all this because we're in a new week, and I will start from the daily time frame. Let's see where Bitcoin is headed to. I really wanted to see Bitcoin tapping into this zone, the $90 zone, right? The $93, $92 zone. And if we have a fail, we should see it creep down to 84. There are suggestions that this might even get to 75 before we see an upward movement. Because yes, this zone is the 70-75 zone. It's possible that Bitcoin gets to this zone before we see it shoot higher. But anyway, this is where we are. If you look at the structure, we are not bullish yet. We are still bearish. Okay, we have a significant demand zone on the daily here. I'm just going to close out all these other things that are really confusing. Okay, so we have a significant demand zone here, fair value gap, and we have a break of structure to the downside here. Okay, and we have entered into basically this efficient range, which means that it could mean that we're just retracing here. We're just retracing this way to go further down. It might be a retracement this way to go further down. Because if we look at it, this is actually the zone that led to this break of structure. So this might just be the play for Bitcoin. The one we hit 107, 109, 109 region, 109, 110 region, we have another break downwards. We could also hit the maybe 112, 113, 114 region and still break down in case this fails. Okay? Because again, a significant demand zone is down here below. So on the 4 hours, what can we trade? I'm going to close all this for Bitcoin. What can we trade on the 4 hours? On the 4 hours, um, we also have some demands on here. Demands on this way. This doesn't really form a break to me. Maybe here can be the break. Okay, maybe here can be the break because the price action here is not given, right? Normally I should expect this, then upward here. This was expected. But if this happens to retrace to this zone, I will want to see confirmation. Okay, confirmation if I'm to go higher. This is what I would like to see if I'm to go higher from here. So 1 hour time frame now to look for a swing trade, a possible swing trade into this region. 1 hour zone. We have a demand here. Sorry, a supply rather. We have a supply there, which might hold actually. So again, for this region, possible if I see a confirmation this way, then I'm going to short Bitcoin to this region. If I see a confirmation here, I'll short it. Okay, but if we break, so I'm just going to wait to see what happens in this region. Okay, but if we break above this way, let's say we break higher this way, then this is the zone that will take it to target the zone. So these are the two possible scenarios for Bitcoin. One is this. From here, we'll break above here. I want to take a trade here to go high. Okay. The second one is in this region. If it does this, then I want to go higher. I want to go lower rather. So in this case, I want to go lower on the lower time frame. All right. Let's go lower on the lower time frame. So we might likely see this happen. Let's see. So this is the zone I've been marking out. This particular zone. Hmm. But to take this trade, I want to see this taken out. If this gets taken out, then this will be the trade. This will be the trade for Bitcoin. The trade for me for Bitcoin would be this. It's a 5.5 risk to reward. This will be the trade. I can actually find this to this zone, this one, which gives me more risk, more profitability, but we might not actually get here. So this can be halfway. This can be the refinement that we give to this particular zone. But this is actually, so this is, or just want a confirmation entry here. So this will be the trade I will take. If you see this broke, if you see a one, if you see a confirmation entry here, I'm gonna go lower. If I don't see it, but sees a breakthrough here, then I want to take this trade lower. But even at that, if you break through, I can actually trade this lower to this point before going higher. But that's what happened on the 5 minutes time frame. Now let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum also gave profits. One, we tapped into this particular zone, we went higher. We hit our TP. I was expecting a drop down from here, but we didn't get it. Rather, we went higher. So let's do the same thing for Ethereum, starting on the daily time frame. I'm going to be ending this real soon. Really, really soon. Really, really soon. I've always said I've been bearish on Ethereum. Okay, we're targeting this yellow line. That's what I've been targeting for some time now. And we had our breakout structure here on Ethereum. That breakout structure has some demand zone. One, this is the demand zone that we have here. This is another demand zone that we're having here. Okay, another demand zone that we're having here. All right, 4 hours. Four hours, 4 hours. So I'm looking forward to a movement this way or this way. So one movement is, can we get this? One movement. Second movement is the same thing. Can we get this to this? Because we can come down from there. Okay. This one too can come down from there. This one I'm looking. These are the two movements I'm looking forward to on Ethereum. On Ethereum. So 1 hour time frame now. Um, okay, that's a big comment. So 1 hour time frame. So the 1 hour I can start drawing this. So this is a possible place to take this trade from. This one is the possibility to go higher from. There's another one down here. This particular one down here. And even another one down here. This one down here. So these are the areas we can go higher from. Okay. It's confirmation that will help us determine, should we go from here, should we go from here, should we go from here. But ultimately, I'm looking forward to seeing this high taken out. We already have an equal high here, but I'm looking forward to seeing a proper breaker structure in this region. So that said, we can now go down to the 30 minutes time frame. Mind you, are trying to get to this high, so looking for entries to get to this high. On the 30 minutes, I think I'm still going to stick with this movement. Long position from here, taken this way. up to this high. But I want to see a confirmation entry here to take this trade higher. I think this is going to just be about it for analysis. We spent over 1 hour. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Discord.